Hey, it's your boy Sirr of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. And I just want to take a moment and say thank you to our sponsor, Black Renaissance Clothing. They have agreed to be the 2020 Podcast LLC's sponsor for the entire year. Yes, they are officially the sponsor of the 2020 Podcast LLC. So do me a favor. Anytime you feel like shopping and doing it for the culture, make sure you visit shopblackrenaissance.com. After perusing their vast library of articles of clothing, make sure you use the promo code LLC20 so you can get 20% off your total order. Yeah, 20% off. That is 1/5 of your order gone. Just like that. Bye. Thank you so much, Black Renaissance Clothing, for being our sponsor.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a pick of the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay solid just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. We'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can't see us. Like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dope. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live. It's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sirr of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. And today I got a special guest, Mr. Darren Brown. How are you doing today, bro?
Doing all right. Thank you. Nice to meet you. It's great to be here. Great to be alive.
Look, it's a pleasure. Like I said, I'm always up for highlighting our people, especially when they're making moves. So, brother, if I may ask, what is it that you do, Darren?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of Advantage Business Consulting, and I started a consulting firm specifically to help small business owners transition to selling successfully online. A lot of people that you can sell anything online. That's one thing, but to actually understand social media and online sales to the point that you can make a livable wage is a totally different ballgame. So that's what I do.
Awesome. Man, that's wonderful. It's just leading the way. I like that. It sounds like you enable the ability to pursue a dream, and that's important nowadays. Okay. All right. And how long have you been doing this, Darren?
Yeah, so I've been in business 2 years now, and I started this business before the outbreak of COVID. But with COVID happening, it's like everybody's online now because they start shutting down office buildings and people working from home. So online sales was already booming. But it really blew up with COVID. And I've seen a lot of small business owners that are not able to pivot with the changes, kind of get left behind, So that's really important to me. And that's why I've opened my business and taken my brand in the direction that I have.
Okay. That's amazing. Adaptability is a big thing for businesses.
Right.
So you definitely have to be prepared and ahead of the times to adjust accordingly. All right. So with that and understanding adaptability is a key part, but I feel like a main focal point is starting. So what inspired you to start your own business?
Well, what inspired me was going on social media and seeing so many people spending a lot of time on social media, seeing Zuckerberg and them guys get very rich off of social media. And I just felt like there's a large demographic of specifically a lot of us that are having more fun than making more money. So I'm thinking, if Zuckerberg and these guys are getting rich and these businesses are making thousands and thousands of dollars, how come we can't get a little piece of the pie? What can we do to kind of monetize all this information that we're putting on this platform to actually make a couple dollars? Because we invest so much time and energy into it. So that was really why I started my business, is to really help people understand online sales, sales marketing and branding, specifically with social media.
All right. Yeah, finding a lane and a conduit to generate income is a definite need. So one of the key things that we like to focus on is what it's like to be an entrepreneur, to
Uh,
be one behind the business. So, if I may ask, what obstacles did you encounter along the way of these 2 years?
the biggest obstacle for me was having the faith to step out from my 9 to 5. So my background is I'm a locomotive conductor and engineer. So, that provided me a 6-figure career. So, I wasn't walking away from $10 an hour. So, I was like, but at the same time, that transition is tough because you still do give up a lot of luxuries by going to work every day. Insurance game is a little different. The money is not as consistent. There's a lot more security and structure that you walk away from when you become a full-time entrepreneur. And it is an adjustment. It is an adjustment. So that transition process may be longer or shorter for some people, but it is a huge lifestyle difference. But at the same time, there are a lot of advantages that come with being a full-time entrepreneur as well. So.
Okay, okay. And we're going to come to that in just a moment. My next question is, you just mentioned, stepping away from your career to focus on what you're doing. So let me ask you this. It's always about balance in everything and all things that we do while we're here on this earth. So how do you manage to find balance between work and your personal life?
Well, it's difficult because you don't really have that structure. So at one hand, it's easy to stay in the office 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day. And at the same time, there's nobody standing over you. So it's easy to say, oh, I'm frustrated. I'm going to go lay on the sofa and take a nap. So for me, having structured working hours, knowing, hey, this is my cutoff time. I don't take calls 24/7, 365. I think that's healthy. Also, I'm making sure that I'm active because this is my job, is doing one-on-one consultations. So I have to get to the gym. I can't eat as much food because I'm not as active.
Right.
So I really have to make sure that I'm watching what I eat and getting to the gym and staying healthy. So all that helps me to stay well-rounded, still have time with friends. All that helps me to stay well-rounded by limiting my hours to say, okay, I'm working 8 hours today or 10 hours a day, and that's it. Turning it off.
I think that's important. Time management is something we always harp on when it comes to getting things done, but I think we forget it when it comes to our mental health.
Yes.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Very good point. Very good point. So over the past couple of years, I understand you've been, in business for the last couple of years, but you probably had this as an idea for much longer. So what experience over, I guess, the entirety of the time of coming up with this idea of a business, what experience have you found to be the most memorable?
with my business? What the most memorable part was for me is hearing it from other people. And when somebody else says, hey, what happened to the idea you had with the owl or whatever you were talking about, or whatever happened to that little networking group that you started? Well, the owl and, logo I was messing around with 2 years ago, actually ended up being a consulting firm. The little, community Facebook group I started actually about when it was 150 people is now 11,000. So it's interesting to hear from other people when they ask you and haven't seen you in a while, hey, whatever happened to that? And then you can tell them successfully, it's actually grown into a big deal. This right here, this little George Foreman grill at work. They took it away from me at work. So it was a fire hazard. I was like, come on, guys. I turned it into a little, skit, a little meme. This is the reason I started my podcast, Uncooked with Darren Brown, because I didn't have my grill. Podcast reaches 1 million people. So, wow, it's really just seeing the evolution of how things got started to where they are now, and hearing it from people that were like, oh yeah, I remember that, So,
well, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. I think I had a memorable experience recently. I had a friend who started an anime shop, first black-owned anime shop in Mobile. And it was big. So I took the day off to do so. And I'm just there in my 2020 podcast shirt, just showing support, And I had somebody pull me to the side, was like, yo, I love your show. And then he stood there and talked with me for about 15 minutes about the last episode and how it affected him. And I don't know this guy from the man on the
That's
moon,
cool.
but I felt connected. You know,
That's
it
cool.
was that, yeah, I'm supposed to do this. This is it, you know.
Like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
brother.
cool.
Yeah, brother. So something I always like to bring up is that it wouldn't be fair to sell someone on the highs of living your dream, but not mentioning the lows. So this question. At any point, did you feel that you wouldn't be successful? And if so, who or what changed your mind?
That's a great question. I think that, it's fun when you're winning, but when you're not winning, it's not so fun. You don't really doubt yourself when the sales and the money are flowing. You're like, okay, I got this. But when that starts slowing down, then it's like, okay, you start kind of doubting yourself. I think for me, the hardest thing for me was, I did a free one-on-one consultation. This is actually pretty funny. It ended up helping me in the end, but it was still rough. So I did like free, 15-minute consultation. How you do a free consultation, and the post actually went viral, and I had 900 people book free consultations with me. So it was over 11-week span, but I mean, and I got good at my pitch. I perfected my pitch, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, I have 900 people that want a free consult. How am I going to have time to make money, run my business? And I got 900 people I need to talk to one-on-one like this, one at a time. Cool. So that was a point where I'm like, okay, I need to kind of slow up on the free consultation thing. But that was a point where I'm like, that was it wasn't necessarily maybe a mistake, but that was pretty rough. That was pretty rough.
Well, I think that's the learning curve of things,
Yeah.
Sometimes we do things to get the attention, but then when it blows up, we're like, whoa, bigger than what I thought it was.
Yeah, right.
All
and
right.
what helped me out, and the second part, briefly to answer the second part of your question, and what helped me out of that was having people around me that were more established and experienced in business that could say, hey, you're going to have these ups and downs. But that network is critical. You got to have some people around you that are not just about partying, and some people around you that can say, hey, I'm looking at your business. Hey, this is pretty cool. You might want to think about this, but keep up the good work. Having that network is just a game changer.
Right. I agree. You have to include those in your circle that can look at you objectively and speak to you directly. So yes, growth is important. All right. So my next question is what I call my infamous question, because it's the long term.
Here we go.
So where would you like to see yourself in your consulting business in 1 year, in 3 years, and then in 10 years?
Okay, I can handle that. So 1 year, I just want to be 1 year, I want to be at least I would like to have like a collaboration with a major television network would be great, or major sponsorship like, a Google or, AutoZone or major corporation. That would be great in the next year. I've come close, but I haven't nailed down that contract that I want. So hopefully 2021, that'll be it. 3-year range, I would like to be able to be in front of an audience of a couple thousand a month on a regular basis. That's my 3-year plan. And then 10-year plan, I really hope to take my business and sell it to like a major bank, and they can have small business consulting as a part of their service for like Chase or Bank of America, and they integrate it in their small business accounts and things like that.
That's important. I like the fact that you see yourself becoming, something bigger than yourself, leaving your own stamp in your own legacy, your way, and going out on your terms, not being forced out or anything. Right. So speak it, manifest it, brother. I'm big into putting things into the universe. So with this conversation, I would also like to pitch in life into that dream. That's amazing, brother. That's amazing.
Appreciate it.
All right. So this here is my final question.
Okay.
I always dedicate it to the people that are watching / listening, because it's bigger than us at this point. Entrepreneurship is a spirit, especially in this time, that a lot of people have to have. I don't know if a lot of people heard this, but it's good to have a career, but it's even better to have a side hustle if you can, just in case. And this has been the year for that motto. So the hardest thing to do and the scariest is to take an idea and try to run with it, try to make it a business, to chase your dream. What words of encouragement would you have for someone who has an idea, but they're afraid to pursue it?
I would say the worst thing that can happen is you just end up back where you are. You have nothing to lose. You're only going to build and gain and grow. Whether you learn from how logos work, if you do a podcast, you learn about these microphone setups and lights. It's a learning process. The worst that can happen is that you end up back to where you are. You have nothing to lose. Second thing is everything. There's a learning curve to everything. So where you will be from today to 3 years from now, it will be 3 years of experience. But if you wait 10 years, you're only going to have 3 years of experience 10 years from now. So you might as well start sooner, start messing up and learning sooner, so you have more experience sooner. So you don't push your experience back. You don't want to have 3 years of experience 10 years from now because you waited 10 years. How about in 10 years, you have 10 years of experience because you started today. That's my little piece.
That's it, bro. That's it, bro. Stop waiting. Do it now.
Do it now.
All right, Darren, if anyone wanted to get in contact with you, whether it be about, starting their own business, or they just want to discuss, consulting with you, what is the best method to contact you?
Shoot me an email, Darren Brown at advantagefc.com. I'm also on Facebook. You type in Darren Brown, I should pop right up. There is a Darren Brown that's a magician in the UK. So I'm not the magician. He's a white magician in the UK. I'm not a white magician in the UK. So you probably put in Darren Brown, look for me on Facebook, Instagram, and you can't miss me out on social media.
That is. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I made sure that I put it in the description below. Darren Brown, thank you so much again, brother, for taking time out of your day to do this interview and be a part of this podcast today, brother.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity. I love what you're doing. Keep up the great work, sir.
Hey, pleasure's all mine. And that being said, this has been your boy, Sirr, and we are out.